two very high-profile cases of inappropriate relationships, Workers' Party side and the PAP side.
The country on fire, you guys.
There was already a conflict of interest. How come nothing was done?
Is it wrong that they did? Can Workers' Party afford this loss or not?
If they had not lied, would they have been expelled?
But here's where it gets juicy, guys. Denise, do you know what kind of podcast we are?
What?
A current affairs podcast. This is your daily Ketchup.
That's not the only sauce going around.
Guys, we need to talk. More than 50% of you watching are not subscribed. So it really means a lot to us and it helps us grow as a company and as besties if you're all subscribed. Thank you very much.
Very big news, guys. The Barbie movie is coming out tomorrow.
I cannot wait. Really.
Oppenheimer first.
Team Oppenheimer.
Honestly, I watched the Oppenheimer trailer. I don't know what's going on yet. Haven't read
my
down.
God.
Haven't
It's a
read
beautiful
It's so
trailer.
good.
What
It's
have I
so
done?
good. It's so good. But
Okay,
anyway,
in all seriousness,
Oppenheimer happened in Parliament.
yes, actually, there have been two very high-profile cases of inappropriate relationships, both on the Workers' Party side and the PAP side.
drama! I just want to say, right, I wore the right shirt because love is in the air.
And being shot down.
I thought we were going to wear white.
Completely
Oh yeah,
inappropriate.
I know. But then I saw this shirt, I was like, it's too good to pass out the opportunity.
I wear red because it's a red hot love story.
Oh, I don't even need to go Netflix this past few
Their
weeks.
subscription went down.
Only today online you go in.
I just want to say, Marshall News released some movie posters, editing like all of these
Oh
things
my
together.
God.
It's so good.
Okay, so let's just summarize the two things that happened this week. On 17 July, a 15-second video of what appears to be Workers' Party members Nicole Seah and Leon Perera started circulating online.
You're such a news anchor.
Yes, yeah. Why? How
Wait,
do
can
you
you
get so
tell me their
serious?
age difference?
So Nicole Seah is 36 years old, and Leon Perera is 52 to 53, according to Wikipedia.
Dilf.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the
Okay.
video, they are at a restaurant. The man suspected to be Leon is stroking the hand of a woman.
Yeah, caressing. I think.
Caressing.
It was a very weird thing to do.
Very sensual. Very sensual movement. I cannot deny. And
It doesn't look like her though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like her. It doesn't look
I
like
agree,
her.
I agree.
some people say that because there was something on her arm,
Oh,
it
I
looked like
see,
a
I see.
tattoo.
Identifier.
But some people say it's just a hair lah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, but the real issue is because both of them are married with kids.
Yes, so Nicole Seah has two children. She gave birth to her first daughter in 2018 and the second daughter in 2022.
One of which the second daughter was after the affair. had
Yeah,
begun.
we'll get into
Is the
that.
second daughter? Is the second daughter Asian?
We'll
I
get
mean, like
to
mixed
that.
blood.
No, guys.
I demand a trip to the hospital.
Paternity.
Leon Perera also has two children, one son and one daughter.
Okay.
Arguably older lah. Or I mean, expectedly.
Arguably older than Nicole Seah. Okay, we're done. I'm done. Serious things. The country on fire, you guys.
One thing I like, right? So I was doing research. Nicole Seah's Wikipedia page. You know how like celebrities they have the married and then married, right? Either no link or got linked to the.
He's got Ling.
He's got link, but his name is just Bryan.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you click Bryan, and you just get a generic page about Bryans.
But they did help very well in the
Urban
investigation.
Dictionary, Brands are loyal. Often
saw
cheated on.
The best way to get
Hey.
I thought it was quite funny that, you know, everyone's like, hey, how come WP taking so long to come out to speak to the media? Their media director, Leon Perera.
No.
Yeah.
so much sense.
He is the head of their media team.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe let's ask the youths.
Funny you say that.
I knew.
Because you know.
I was setting up for you.
Yeah, because
I think you need to explain the joke for those who don't know though.
Nicole Seah is the president of WP's youth wing.
I didn't know that. No, but something else that I observed was
That was such a hearty laugh. That was my favorite laugh of yours.
I genuinely didn't know. Not that we ever fixed up on this show.
So also on 17 July 2023, it was announced that Chuan-Jin and Cheng both PAP members, were resigning from their positions in the PAP. And it was soon revealed that Chuan-Jin and Cheng were involved in an inappropriate relationship.
Did y'all see the meme edit on the My Mom's Not at Home?
Yeah, then he's like running.
Then she got this. Then she photo of her like all sweaty, and then like they keep
It's like-
using that photo.
It's like, Didi, I'm wet. And then he's like, I'm coming.
It's
I
damn
didn't see that
bad.
one. As in, who is sweating? The girl.
The girl, she's in the gym, then she got like
I have no idea who this girl is. Even she never crossed my
It's
radar.
okay, not a lot of people do. There was a press conference with that PM Lee held with the media on the same day lah. Yeah.
Oh.
He looks so tired and
He's so
Yeah, he's
done.
damn done. Like he wanted to retire. He said that early. It's not like no one saw it coming. 10 years ago, he's like, guys, I'm gonna retire on this day.
Yeah, but here's where it gets juicy, guys.
It's not juicy yet. Okay,
No,
go
he
ahead.
revealed that he had been aware of the inappropriate relationship sometime after the 2020 general election. So he spoke to Chuan-Jin after finding out to end it, and then in February, he found out that this is still going on.
okay, so I think a lot of people online were like saying, hey, how come PM Lee knew about this for 3 years, never do anything? And I think his response was fair, which was that there are a lot of innocent parties. At the end of the day, the ones that were hurt the most are like the families. So like you all deal with it. And I mean like he has so many other problems to solve. It's not like he's going to check in.
You know, a pandemic.
Hey brother Chuan-Jin, now that your side chick true already or not? No lah. But 3 years is quite a long time lah.
It's so weird that you call her side chick because she is a member of parliament. And
That's true. But she's not married.
she's not married. That is that.
So technically on her part, she only did one wrong lah.
So like major conspiracy theories, right? Is that this?
For your head.
Thank
Wow,
you.
where you all buy from, yeah?
I get one extra.
Thank you. A bit tight.
Is that these inappropriate relationships are too well timed already? Wow, you don't have just one, you got two.
Yeah.
And
Who
then,
is suddenly leaking this WP tape?
So like in 10 years, right, no affairs in government,
clear
only
skies.
2 in one day.
So the inappropriate relationships, like moral discussion, right? All that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
was it used? People are saying, not me, but was it used to like kind of cover up the bigger kind of incidents that have been happening in the recent few weeks?
Like a political
You are saying like to distract people from the Mr. Iswaran's case.
Yeah, if they
No
let's
leh.
say they had a bullet in the chamber.
Right.
And we shoot this, we break glass in case of emergency. On the other side also, not just one, but 2 incidents of like Ride Out Road, Iswaran, break glass.
I think
That's
3
gotta be
incidents
it
looks
lah.
worse than having 2 incidents.
No, but you must understand that no one whistle blew on Mr. Iswaran. The party come out and say on.
Yeah.
So was that a cover for the... Russian dolls at this point. Every
Or you
week.
think maybe they don't want the job already? They're like, there's no way we can stand down. We gotta let them vote us out.
It is my theory that populist thing, right, is just Chuan-Jin's like way of ORD mode.
ORD
Is his middle finger to the entire... You think he don't know what the hot mic is?
I
No, but that's
resigned
what we're
already.
all thinking when we watch him slowly stand up from the mic. Like, hey, we go again. Isn't it?
Okay, I resigned in February already.
Yeah.
But you want me to stay on to come and over?
Yeah.
No, I want to go already. I want to find the woman I love. Populist.
Yeah, which I
Okay,
can
how much
totally
did he pay
relate to.
James?
James provided it for free. Yeah.
I think what was more sus is the timing of the 2 videos together lah. So like, did one know that one was going to come out first and then the other, and then did they time it?
Yeah, like, oh my god, it happened. Let's faster post ours.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, because it feels like as though if both parties know that they have this scandal on their hand, right, then it's like we might as well do it if the other one does it, so that we get to either get the hit together
Yeah.
or like, you know,
Or there's like a phone call. He's like,
it's going to happen.
hey, Pritam, if there's ever a time, I need you to have mercy. It is this day.
Together.
Then Pritam's like, bro, you're not gonna believe.
1, 2, 3, we say together.
Then when PBA drop, WP drop after, then they go, hey, Chiba! No, bro, lag, bro!
My Wi-Fi.
What if my wife and I started a party and you all joined us? So it's like everybody.
Wow,
then
damn
my
fun
wife
sia,
and
this
I
party.
Nah,
What kind of party is this? Housewarming?
Housewarming party!
Pongo!
Everybody's invited to Pongo!
Pongo very crowded this afternoon.
Hold up! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. Who is your favorite couple?
Your favorite power couple in government.
Okay, back to the episode.
Okay, but sorry, if we backtrack a bit, right? Mr. Leon Perera and Nicole Seah are both senior party members in Workers' Party.
They are not just senior party members, they are in the CEC of the...
Means what?
They are the major decision makers in the party, lah,
When
basically.
got problem and they need to have meeting at 11 p.m. at night, they are the group that goes together, lah.
Or it's also when any of the party members, so PAP have their own CEC as well. If any of the party members did something wrong for our line, for example, it's the CEC that comes together.
Right. So
Yeah.
even if they were both single, this would still be a problem.
I think so. That's the part that's up for debate.
Okay.
I think that's where the wider conversation is going now, especially for people that really like Chuan-Jin. Like myself, to be honest. I quite like that guy.
He's okay.
He very likable, yeah. I think he damn likable.
My favorite was DPM Taman.
He had 99k followers on Instagram.
He's hugely
Right.
popular.
And then he, after this whole thing, he just deactivated it or hidden it.
As
Yeah.
I would
Understandably,
too.
lah.
So
be a
the
problem.
wider conversation, especially for people that are fans of, or not say fans is a weird term, supporters of Tan Chuan-Jin
Stands.
are saying that, is it wrong that they did because, like what is the problem lah?
Wait, they as in the WP or they as in him and...
Both sides. Like,
No, I
is
think
it
for the-
wrong?
for the-
Is workplace dating wrong lah? For example, if you realize the CEO is dating the CFO, is that a problem?
Right.
No, but
Yeah.
then in the PAP, it's a lot more, the PAP case is a lot more murky because the Speaker of Parliament is supposed to be a
Impartial figure.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, having worked in government before, if you get a lot of emails on talking about conflict of interest and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if two people are in a relationship, it has to be
But
disclosed.
James is a populist, right? Like everybody knows, James knows that. He must know that.
What's this got to do with the affair?
No, as in, back down to the whether or not he's partial or impartial. Whether that came out with between the affair partner or James, I think the James one came off a bit more like the hot mic.
Yeah.
Was a bit more of he showed his impartial stance. But I think by design, right, it always doesn't make sense because the Speaker of Parliament is someone from the governing party. When it's impartial, I think it's more of it's on you to check your people to make sure that the minority people in Parliament, which is opposition, will have a chance to speak.
Yeah.
I think that's what it can be lah. It cannot be fully impartial. Let's hear everybody out and see what's up. Then at the end of the day, this person should not be a politician. This person should be a judge, perhaps.
Yeah.
The conflict of interest that people are talking about now between Tan Chuan-Jin and the Cheng Li-Hui, right? Is it that he give her extra 2 minutes to talk, that kind? Is that the worry? Because what kind of biasness?
that's where it is,
can he-
yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like at the end of the day, if on a day-to-day, the Speaker of the House is more or less a glorified moderator, then the only conflict of interest is just giving that person more time. Then I feel like it's not really there. So I agree with John that I think the hot mic issue
Is a
was
larger-
probably larger in terms of the impartiality
Right.
issue altogether. But we are skipping away from the juicy hot tea drama gossip kind of conversations that we could have about what happened.
It was mad. I tell you, that morning, right, I was just texting with a friend. We were talking about what's going on with the transport minister, the Iswaran case, right? So it's like, what's the strategy? What's going on? Some 4D chess that's being played right now. I won't say who I was speaking to, right? Then after that, we just went. No, it was just like a fellow citizen.
Yeah.
Fellow citizen.
Yeah.
And then we just then we went we just stopped talking. Then we went and go about our day. Then after that we just oh my god, because that day so many things unfolded. It started in the morning with how is DPM Lawrence navigating this whole Iswaran situation. That was how I started my morning. And then suddenly you see ministers, and they all came in little drips and drabs. Tan Chuan-Jin resigned. Then the other MP resigned. I mean, I don't know who the other MP is. So it's no loss, right?
No, but it was together and it was sus.
They resigned. Then after that, people start saying adultery. Then after that, Worker Party come out. Really adultery. Then PAP come out. Also adultery. Then it's what the heck? That was such a day. But I think Dan also brought up a very good point. That this is also a sign of a somewhat mature democracy.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about gutter politics. I'm talking about the fact that people come in, people make mistakes, scandals happen. Yeah, you know? This is a sign of the fact that the government has, multiple generations of people have inherited governance. Which was not the case last time.
Yeah.
When we look at the old guard served for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's not. Now there's job rotation. Now let's give the young people a chance.
Turnover.
Yeah. Which, I mean, good or bad for the country lah. I mean, if it works out, then yeah, we have multiple talented people governing. And if it doesn't work out, then things like this happen. Which is quite interesting.
Yeah. What I thought was interesting was that it was very easy for any ruling party at that point in time, right? And one that a lot of people claim controls the media to just completely figure out a way to get Tan Chuan-Jin and Cheng Hui, right, to like just leave and like being MPs separately without having to reveal the reason. Like there was a way to do this without the party's embarrassment.
So the transparency was a good sign.
I mean, albeit late, but
Very late.
the fact that they were transparent about it, I think should be somewhat commendable lah.
I mean, this is not the first time that the PAP or the WP have kind of faced these kind of...
Michael Palmer, who out of nowhere after 10 years thought he moved on in his life, right? Here we go again.
So for our audiences who are a bit younger, right, the whole Michael Palmer case is that in 2012, Michael Palmer was also a PAP member, also the Speaker of the Parliament, and yeah, it was revealed that he also had an extramarital affair, and once PAP found out, he resigned.
Right.
And on the WP side, just to keep things equal, in February 2012, news of then Hougang MP Yaw Shin Leong also had an extramarital affair.
Right.
And he was expelled with immediate effect.
But did he have an affair with someone in Parliament?
Within the party.
That one...
So it's a personal conduct issue.
Yeah, so that was more of like... Which is that whole debate, right? Of like, technically an affair is your personal matter. But then you being in the capacity of a politician are held to a higher standard. That's why I'm reading already all time now.
No, so the debate is this, right? It's like, should politicians be punished for the mistakes they made in their personal lives, i.e. or e.g. Okay, but anyway, like, would you prefer a politician who's super experienced, really good at jobs, but has a shit marriage, or a really mediocre politician who has a fantastic marriage?
Yeah, I feel like if you beat your wife, there's a problem.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's a problem no matter who you are.
No, but you know what's damn funny? I think like I don't know why I watched the whole press con because like I was supposed to be working. But Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, right, accidentally said Michael Palmer's name when trying to refer to Tan Chuan-Jin.
What?
Yeah.
He said what, Michael, is it?
So he said, so someone asked, a journalist asked, like, because of all the saga that's going on the last 2 weeks, like, do you feel that the PAP government is like under crisis or whatever? Like, then he went through one by one all the different crises, right? Without, we've already established no corruption. Okay? Then after that, Iswaran case, it was because they were investigating something else. Then after he said, and now with the case of Michael Palmer, I mean Tan Chuan-Jin. Then
live streams.
Live streams.
God damn. Yeah.
Thank you to members of the media for coming today. I have called this press conference.
And wow, perfect timing. We actually just watched the WP's press conference regarding the incident, and wow, a lot of wows. But yeah.
So what's new basically is this. We now learned that Leon Perera and Nicole Seah will both resign
from the party, and Leon Perera from Parliament.
Pritam has also mentioned that if they did not resign, they will have been expelled. Also, it is revealed that when Pritam, about the fact that the mysterious leak, the driver of Leon Perera,
he is in fact a real person.
He is in fact a real person that Pritam did whistleblow to him all those years ago.
Yes.
Of which, when Pritam went to clarify with Leon and Nicole, they both denied.
Yes.
And as of Monday this week, depending on when you watch this, right? They have both, after seeing the video, they both admitted that it was them. And what I think was the biggest tea, or the second biggest tea,
Lots of tea.
is that Justin from Today, when asked a question, Justin, your question was not very well phrased, okay? Nobody really understood it.
Okay, only.
But the answer that came from it was solid. So thank you, Justin.
So maybe it's a good question, if it gets the result.
If we understood it correctly, what Mr. Pritam mentioned is that the grounds for expulsion, should he expel them if they didn't resign, was not because of the extramarital affair, but it was because when asked about whether they are having an affair, they lie.
Because in the constitution of WP, and something that they hold very dear to the heart, exactly his words.
Wow.
They
Right here.
WP candidates or members need to be open
And frank.
honest and frank.
I want to talk about the fact that
Draw your own
he
conclusions.
tried to insinuate, when someone asked him about Rise Media, I
Yes.
think it was Rice Media.
He said, isn't it a coincidence?
Yeah, what do you think about the coincidence that both of these scandals from two rival parties drop on the same day? Of which he spent a good minute saying that he cannot
want to
comment on this
speculate.
because he don't want to be part of speculation. Everything he say will be speculated upon. But the but came exactly as timed during our live stream when we all say but at the same time. But then he said
Yeah, it's weird lah. It's weird lah.
And then he said everything lah.
Okay, I just want to say, like, during the question, right, because the word coincidence came out already, right, he was smiling, he was trying to not break character.
His face like
He went back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it felt as though maybe it was on his mind, but at the end of the day, he said, I will leave it up to you to draw your own conclusions.
Which is as good as the answer you can give.
But it wasn't great lah, because I think, like John mentioned during the live stream, it means that if the video wasn't made known to them, it's not as though your MPs didn't do anything wrong. It's that you're sorry you got caught.
Does this press conference change your view of who is the who takes the biggest loss? WP or PAP? I think it affects mine a bit actually, which is why I'm asking. Because based on his story, is that when the allegations came out, he asked them, they both denied, and there's no other
Further
evidence to
investigation.
prompt further investigations.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for PAP side, when it came out, it was confirmed that they were having an affair, and PM Lee said break it off. And yet both continued and then came to this.
Yeah, I think to me where it's a little bit fishy or like a little bit sus is there is maybe conflicting accounts because there were sources and we don't know how verified these sources are,
Yeah.
but they have come out to say that Pritam was actually made aware of the thing. We don't know whether it means that she was just whistle-blown and then he didn't investigate further. But I think the fact that they just took Leon Perera's word for it, Nicole Seah's word for it, and didn't actually try and create a fact-finding mission. Because to me, if I'm the party leader, this is huge. This is going to blow up. I need to get down to the bottom of it. It needs to be more than just saying, hey, you got to do or not? No, okay.
What is the step 2 though?
I think it would be maybe to speak to the driver to ask whether do you have any evidence of this. We don't know if that really happened or not.
Right.
If you were the driver, you think they'll be like, hey guys, we should have coffee. You think you meet?
Yes. Because I think if the driver already took the effort to go and text not just Pritam, but Pritam, Sylvia, James.
Yeah.
I think there were a few names that were named, right?
Also, Leon's mother.
Oh,
Apparently, he told Leon's mother.
yeah. Then to me is
So
that
it really affected him, yeah. I think he's like,
yeah.
Nicole Seah's ex-boyfriend or what?
In the video, got show the messages that he sent, and it's
Yeah.
really like he feel for Leon's wife.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's
Yeah.
ooh.
But I'll say you really change after you
He
meet
feel
this
bad for
woman.
Leon's wife.
Yeah, like in all honesty, if you were in politics, like you've all watched House of Cards, it's not difficult to hire a private investigator. Just follow Leon for a couple of like weeks and see really there's any truth to it.
Right,
If there isn't, okay, great. I'm glad that I covered my bases.
Right.
It's not true.
But I mean, to answer your point though, both will have ended in the same exact result. Because to Pritam's point that he was not being let go for the adultery. And likewise, Tan Chuan-Jin was not let go. He resigned. In both instances, both were notified. For PAP's one, it was admitted. Of which you can only assume that when PM Lee says break it off, he's like, yeah lah. Of course, I'll break it off. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Right?
How do you lie to the Prime Minister?
So
by
then
the way?
that timeline removed to when they realize it. So for PAP is when they realize it in February, and for WP is when they realize it on the day that Tan Chuan-Jin resigned.
Yes.
Yeah. Because actually, you're right. It's very similar. When what PM Lee was saying was that when I found out that they had not broke it off, it's as though because they
Right.
lied lah. They said that they were going to do it and didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So in both circumstances, I don't think it affects the integrity of the party.
Oh, then my
It's of the
question
people.
to
Yeah.
Mr. Pritam Singh, if he watches this podcast, is if they had not lied, would they have been expelled? Or like what would then be his next course of action? I'm curious now.
It could actually be nothing, huh? What if the one MP is husband and wife? Is that a problem?
What do you mean? What if to one?
What
If they were in a
what if my
relationship?
wife and I started a party and you all join us? So it's like everybody.
Wow,
my-
damn
my
fun
wife
sia,
and
this
I
party.
Nah, but
What kind of party is this housewarming?
Housewarming party!
Pongo!
Everybody's invited to Pongo!
Pongo very crowded this afternoon.
No, but it's the optics of the whole cheating thing, lah, right? Of like being an adulterer.
It's not the
And then
relationship. Yeah.
Nicole Seah is the president of the youth wing of
No, and-
WP.
So
So
what problem did that create for WP?
And politics
Use
is an
following.
optics game because I think for a long time, Nicole Seah's draw, I don't think has been policy. It has been that she is this poster girl of like good girl Singaporean.
Yeah.
And I think this whole incident would have completely killed that optics. It would be very difficult for her to run again because all her fans would have turned against her. So it's
Right.
not so much about the principles, it's the optics at the end of the day.
I think a lot of when we were doing our live stream and when we were reacting to the press conference, I think a lot of people, and we threw some questions out.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that yes, they do like the moral integrity
Matters.
of politicians truly matter to a lot of the people that were on our live stream, which talks about who are our role models and do role models need to be all encompassing. When we look at this role model thing, right? The first person I think of actually Ryan Overkill, where if you look at his Instagram bio, I don't know whether it's to this day, his Instagram bio says not your role model or not a role model, because in his journey of just trying to create stupid funny videos and making skits, the public was hammering him on, you should be a role model to children. Why you go and do this? Why you go and smoke? Like, suddenly he want to smoke, also got problem. Yeah, and that is one of the things that weighed down very heavily of, do I need to change myself because now people recognize me? Obviously, it's not the same thing as a national leader. Yeah, but to a certain extent, I think the same thinking framework could be applied in terms of national leadership, right? In terms of, and I think the Critical Spectator wrote an interesting opinion piece. I mean, his stand is that it's very, very stupid that we penalize and lose good talent in government because of the adultery, which is a very personal thing. Because now, who pays for this? I flip this. What if this was Pritam? Can Workers' Party afford this loss or not? Right now, they are full strength and not very big, right? Then we look at who is truly competent. There's Pritam. There's maybe Jamus. Yeah. I honestly, I do feel like Jamus is very competent. It's just he do tend to say populist things. But we hosted him before. I do like him as a person.
But I think he needs to. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, but so there is this too. Can the Worker Party afford to lose Pritam if it was Pritam? We are saying here thinking, sack him let him quit. Him, right? It's also a lot of work that got us here, to the point where, yes, we can afford to lose second in line for presidency. We can't afford to lose our Speaker of Parliament, a figurehead of a GRC, right? And not many countries have such people of caliber, in abundance, in governance.
Yeah.
Because these people are CEOs of private companies, or if your country cannot support your startup ecosystem, you're in America, you're in Dubai, you're in places like Singapore, San Francisco, where you then build your company and be a millionaire, billionaire, Silicon Valley there, right? And Singapore is actually in a place whereby you're sack him, and we're okay with that. You think about, and we know that the country is not going to crumble because of that. But what if it would? What if our whole check and balance relies on opposition, which is a notion I personally disagree. But what if it does hinge on the opposition, and what if it was Pritam? Worker Party cannot afford to lose one Pritam like that.
But I do think, so one of the reporters also asked this question. Like out of, I think there are 41 candidates, they have lost 3 like prominent ones. And then, okay, I'm not sure whether Raisha was prominent, but they've lost 3 And his response to that I thought was a great response, which is that it does not affect because it is not just about getting Workers' Party elected. It is them and the government as a whole working for the interests of Singapore.
Yeah.
And so therefore, this almost comes together as like a team effort, like to the outside is a unity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting. But also to hop on your previous point about role models, I do think that I wonder if it is linked to your accountability towards who gave you the power. So
Yes.
for example, for Ryan, the people gave him the power, the platform, and therefore do they then have the right to have certain expectations of him? Same parallel would be, say for example, your boss that hires you, gave you your position, gave you like whatever power that you have, right? Does your boss then have the right to have certain expectations of you morally as an employee?
Oh my God. I realized my first answer is very similar to what Pritam would say. Obviously, we want to pick good people here. I mean, and what Lee Hsien Loong will say, right?
Does this
But we have to pick based on the available information at point of interview. But I cannot control what they will do later on in life.
Oh my god.
I see where this is going.
which is damn crazy because like, can you imagine? I think we briefly spoke about this, but can you imagine now, right? Interviewing for both PAP and WP, right? It's like, will you cheat? Do you have the propensity to cheat?
Yeah. Like, how much do you love your wife?
Yeah.
3 date scenarios, pick one. Then they go ask their wife. Then say a lie or not?
Yeah.
Who in Parliament do you think is the sexiest?
Trick question.
Trick question. Say anyone, right?
X. Wow.
All right, and that's it for the episode. We'll see you again in a few days. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And then, bye-bye.
Can I just say, right, this is all very expected if you follow your retrogrades. So Venus, right, is currently in retrograde and it's a very challenging time for couples, which is why now these extramarital couples got their affairs outed. And if you don't believe me, Sofia Vergara just got divorced and Ariana Grande just said that she's separating from her husband.
So if your relationship is in trouble,
Just you wait.
check it out. Venus is in retrograde, right?
Maybe not yet.